And I think that that's just so special, and I think that's why people laugh and why they cry and why they cheer and why they gasp. And I mean, I still do, and oh my God, I've watched this movie, every frame of this movie 1,000 times. Yeah. So this movie really like took over our life for the past year and a half. So yeah, my hair and my wardrobe feels like such a distant memory to like, you know, what we've been in more recently, but yeah.
Blake Lively didn't just sit back. She filed her second amended complaint, turning up the heat on this Hollywood showdown. But instead of immediately trying to dismiss the case, Wayfair, Justin, and the rest of the crew answered, and Jed Wallace even filed a motion to dismiss. What makes this even more intense is the introduction of affirmative defenses, basically saying that even if every single claim Blake makes is true, there might still be no legal liability. This isn't just legal paperwork. These defenses could determine millions in potential damages, reshape Hollywood reputations, and completely shift the power in this high-stakes lawsuit. And the twists are only getting started. One of the biggest questions looming over Blake's case: can she even sue for retaliation after her employment ended back in August 2024? The promotion was wrapped, the film was out, and yet her team claims there's still an ongoing smear campaign. But legally, does that hold water? Defendants argue Blake may lack standing, meaning she might not even have the right to bring this lawsuit in the first place. If the court agrees, her claims could be dismissed before they ever make it to trial, cutting the whole saga short. And that's just the beginning of the legal twists that could leave Blake on the back foot. Now things get messy. Defendants are pointing fingers at Blake herself, claiming her own actions could completely undermine her case. Reports suggest chaos on set, accusations of trying to steal the movie, and manipulative behavior. If any of it holds up, it feeds straight into the unclean hands defense. In legal terms, that means if she acted badly, she can't claim damages. Essentially, Blake's credibility is now the battlefield, and her past behavior could become the most damaging evidence against her. Could this turn the lawsuit into a trial over her character, rather than the alleged retaliation? That's exactly what makes this legal showdown so explosive. Next up, the First Amendment enters the fray. Defendants argue that much of what Blake is claiming, online criticism, public opinions, even alleged smear campaigns, is protected speech. Simply put, you can't sue someone for expressing their thoughts, even if it hurts your feelings. This legal shield could completely defang claims about social media attacks or public commentary. In other words, her lawsuit may hit a wall because, in the eyes of the law, freedom of speech outweighs personal offense. And if the court agrees, Blake could find her case shrinking faster than anyone expected, long before a single trial date is set. Now, the focus shifts to procedure, and it's a minefield for Blake. Defendants are laying the groundwork for a summary judgment, which means the court could review evidence beyond her original complaint: text messages, emails, depositions, everything. Timing is another hurdle. Federal sexual harassment claims must be filed within 300 days of the alleged incident, and Blake waited 18 months, putting her case at risk. On top of that, she's trying to use California law, but the incidents she cites occurred in New Jersey. Simply put, she may have filed in the wrong state. This procedural angle could potentially end the lawsuit before it even reaches a courtroom, leaving her claims in legal limbo and changing the game entirely. Defendants aren't just sitting back. They're ready to flood the court with emails, text messages, and deposition excerpts. Their argument is simple but powerful. Every obligation has already been completed. The film was released, the promotion wrapped, and nothing remains unresolved. In other words, the case may leave no facts for a jury to decide, turning what seemed like a high-stakes Hollywood drama into a legal dead end for Blake. Every piece of evidence they bring could chip away at her claims, leaving the courtroom with only one question: is there anything left to even try?
Behind every lawsuit in Tinseltown, there's more than just law. It's a game of leverage, PR, and positioning. Experts suggest Blake's filings may be as much about career strategy as legal claims, sending a message to studios, agents, and co-stars alike. Negotiating in Hollywood often happens under intense pressure, where every move is scrutinized and missteps can ripple across future roles. This case highlights the delicate balance between protecting your reputation and playing the power game. The big question now: is this lawsuit truly about justice, or is it a calculated move to shape the narrative and advance influence in Hollywood's high-stakes environment? The lawsuit may never reach a courtroom in full. Summary judgment looms, potentially wiping out most of Blake's claims before a single witness testifies. The stakes are high. Attorney fees, personal reputations, and even Hollywood precedent hang in the balance. Every move here could influence how future disputes between stars, studios, and agencies are handled. So what do you think? Will this end quietly with legal papers, or will Blake push forward and risk it all? Comment below with your take and stay tuned. This story is far from over, and any update could send shockwaves through the industry.